Hey Yeousch Recruits, my name is Patterrz, and this is my Mass Effect 3 series where I basically go over all the multiplayer classes and give you a basic overview of them and maybe some tips and tricks if you are new to the game or you just need a bit of help with some of the classes. Okay, so today we're going to be doing the Sentinel. Now the Sentinel is really great, it's really versatile. I like it because it can do a lot of things really, and you can play it in two ways really. Two main ways you can play the Sentinel. One is weapon based, where you use tech armor to protect yourself and you go for weapons, and more like a soldier, almost like a soldier type class. Or you can go power focused, power focused, so you can play like a more support class, or like the adept or the engineer. So for the human, if you go in weapon focused with this, I would definitely recommend you must get tech armor, like fully upgraded. That is a definite must. Another thing you're going to want is the Alliance training and fitness. If you're going sort of weapon focused, you're not really going to want throw or warp because they're not going to be much use, because what the tech armor does is it increases the cooldown of all powers apart from the tech armor. So warp and throw are not going to be really helpful for someone using weapons, because they're going to be carrying on heavy weapons as well, which is going to increase the cooldown further. So I would not recommend going for warp and throw. Definitely max out tech armor and Alliance training and fitness, because that's going to be awesome for the weapon guy. If you're going power focused, I wouldn't really recommend using tech armor so much. You would be more fragile, but it's just a trade-off you're going to have to make. I would definitely recommend going fully maxed out throw and warp, because what you can do is you can make your own biotic detonations. It's one of the only classes that can. I think the others are Adept and Vanguard, which is pretty obvious. But the Sentinel human can make his own biotic detonations, which is you just need to warp the person, then throw, and they'll blow up, and they'll be all blue, and it's going to be awesome. Another thing, maybe you want to go for fitness, if you want to make sure you live a little bit longer, or make your power cooldowns a little bit less with Alliance training. It's whatever you want. It's basically up to you. I'm just here to give you tips and tricks. Now the Turian, I like the Turian because it's basically suited for any situation. If you want to go weapon focused, again, that's why I said you can get tech armor definitely. Maybe not get warp or overload. Turian veteran fitness is pretty basic. It's just what I get before. But for the Turian, another thing you need to remember about the Turians, they can't roll or dodge or anything, so they're pretty limited in mobility that way. But if you're good, then you shouldn't get hit too often, and you'll have the tech armor to protect you if you do anyway. So that's basically that's a big help. But if you want to go power focus, then it's really good because you can basically, you're ready for any situation, because you get warp and overload. Now I'm pretty sure you can have a tech detonation with overload if you use warp. I'm not really sure, I'm not completely certain on that, but I think you can. I'm pretty sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong. But it's really good because you get the best of both worlds really. Overload is good at taking down shields, and warp is good at making sort of non-shielded people vulnerable and taking down armor. It's really good at that. Now the Krogan. The Krogan is a complete tank, and when you add tech armor on that, well, it's just amazing. With the Krogan, you want to go like totally max out tech armor. You run around with those lift grenades, you run around with Berserker and Rage. You're just gonna melee everything. I would definitely recommend going with a shotgun of some sort. I wouldn't really go with Incinerate. I probably wouldn't put any points in that. I don't think it would be very useful. But tech armor, lift grenade, a little bit in Berserker and Rage, it's gonna be great. You're just gonna melee everything. You're not even gonna take a hit, because a Krogan already has like super shield and super health. And with the tech armor, well, it's just gonna get better from there. And the good thing about the grenades is they don't have cooldown, so it's not gonna be affected by the tech armor. So yeah, definitely go with the tank route with the Krogan. I think it's pretty obvious, looking at them, but if you didn't know, well, there's some tips. Now for the DLC characters, we have the Batarian, which is another melee-based character, very melee-based, because they have a blade armor which can redirect the melee damage you receive by 150% if you max it out that way, which is really helpful. I definitely recommend going with that. You also have Shockwave. I wouldn't go with that unless you really want to. I mean, I don't really find it very useful. On the higher difficulties, most people have protection, so it's not really going to affect them as much as it might on the lower difficulties. Now, Submission Net is also pretty good. You can use this electrical thing, which is the last one. So if you want to fully max it out, I would go for the electrical last upgrade, because it's good on like shields and capturing people, and I think it does like area damage or something. I'm not completely sure on that. But in Patterrz, Enforcer, and Fitness are pretty self-explanatory, the same as the other ones. Definitely go get some health and melee upgrades from Fitness, because you're really gonna need them if you're playing a Patterrz. I also recommend using a shotgun as Patterrz, because you're gonna be in close range most of the time. Now, Vorcha, this is what the new Rebellion pack gave you. I haven't had the fortune to get any of the characters from that just yet, because the game hates me apparently. Whatever. But a few things I've learned about it is the Bloodlust regenerates your health. So if you get low on health, it just regenerates it every few seconds. I'm not sure if there's any negative effects from Bloodlust, but that's a really useful power, because the Vorcha has very low shields and quite high health, so you're going to need this Bloodlust to restore your health when your shields go down, which will probably be really quickly. Another thing they have is Flamer, which is another thing you're going to need to get in close range with, and Cluster Grenade, which I think is pretty useful. You're going to need that. Vorcha Resilience is the same as Patterrz Enforcer, you know, Turian Veteran, Alliance Training, it's just the same as that. And Fitness is another self-explanatory thing. I don't really have many tips for that person. I apologize if you have him. You're like, come on, I really wanted some tips for him. I'm sorry, I haven't had the fortune, like you, to play as the Vorcha yet. Maybe one day, but not today. So, yeah, that's about it for the Sentinel. Next time I think I'll do the Infiltrator or the Vanguard. I'm not sure how many more I have to do, actually. I think it's just 2 more, actually. Yeah, that'll be fun. So, that's for the Sentinel. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay that was going on in the background, which is a Patterrz Sentinel with sort of melee-based, like I was telling you before. So, go check out my channel if you enjoyed this. Go check out my channel if you didn't. Anyway, if you didn't enjoy this, I don't know how you got this for, but I'm rambling on a bit now. I should probably end the video. So, yeah, thank you, Yeousch Recruits, for posting this once again, and thank you for watching.